Hello everyone. Today in our session I want to show you how we can push PowerPoint beyond its limits. My name is Stephan Kuhnert. I'm the co-founder and managing director of Empower. And at Empower, we are passionate about making PowerPoint even better. So we are a software company based in Germany, and we are creating add-ins that make your life with PowerPoint so much easier. So let's get right into our session. So first of all, in today's world, we all waste so much time searching for the right slides, searching for right content, but also creating new slides is cumbersome. And even worse, the result is often really bad. I mean, not our presentations, but the ones of our colleagues, right? So they are not professional, not brand compliant, and it sometimes seems just like an unprofessional mess. And we want to understand this problem a bit deeper, and so that's why we're doing market research every few years with Nielsen, the world's largest research firm, and we are conducting the world's largest office study. So we are looking how companies work with the office programs, and two of those numbers are really supporting my case here, right? Is on average 2.5 hours every week by a single person is wasted on formatting tasks in PowerPoint. We're not talking about content, storylining, presentation. We're talking about formatting of slides. And nearly every second presentation that goes out is not on brand. It's hurting your brand, actually. It's damaging the brand. And this can't be true. I mean, this is not satisfactory, right? And the question obviously is, why is that? And I think the answer is pretty simple. Microsoft Office, which is the market leader, but you can also take the Google Suite. These are productivity applications. It's productivity software, right? It's not branding software. So that's the reason why it's really hard to stay on brand unless you're a marketeer who really knows the guidelines by heart. And secondly, it's not optimized for businesses. It's with PowerPoint or other programs, you can create anything. You can be a student doing presentations. You can create a presentation like a slideshow for a wedding or a birthday party, right? So it's a software designed for the world and not designed for business solely. And that's why it's not optimized in many cases. So, you might think now, well, but the world is changing and there is so much AI out there, so this will soon be a thing of the past. And there is Copilot, which is really exciting, as we also agree that it's very exciting, and we looked into the technology already. And one thing, although it really makes our life in certain aspects easier, but it will not solve the problems I just mentioned. So I think that's very important to understand. So first of all, Copilot is not focused on branding functionality at all. There's no conversion from old to new. There's no checking against guidelines. That's all not part of Copilot. And secondly, you will not be able to create complex business slides magically. It sometimes sounds like it would, but it doesn't, because what Copilot is using to create slides is the slide designer functionality that you might already know, because that functionality is in PowerPoint since 3 or 4 years. And it's pretty limited, so you cannot create any complex slide with a chart or table or multiple objects on a slide. Then slide designer says he cannot do anything. So that is the limitation, which is fine. Copilot will be still cool and fun to use, but it will not solve these essential problems that we see based on our study in today's business world. So where's the solution? Well, of course, here's the solution. Empower will help you push PowerPoint beyond its limits. Empower, being an extension to PowerPoint, will just fill the gaps, like ensure branding and ensure that you can be much more efficient when creating slides. And I want to give you a very quick demo today. And I thought a cool demo would be something that you can best relate to. And most likely you can relate to the most common use case of how people create presentations out there. We know that from our research. We know that people quite often start not from scratch, but start with existing content. There are slides that I can pick. There are maybe from the corporate presentation, maybe from my last sales pitch, whatsoever. So I'm looking for existing slides that I can pull together as a starting point. I don't want to reinvent the wheel, right? And then Sometimes, not always, I realize that it's not based on the latest templates, so copy pasting slides always leads to a mess in your master. So you want to tidy that up if you want to do a professional presentation. And then at some point you need to create new slides, right? Of course you want to create maybe a project plan here or some slides for that specific purpose, because it's not only recycling. And then you're kind of getting, you're nearly getting a job done, but then you want to finalize it. And finalize is like when you send an important email to someone, you probably read it twice before you send it, right? Same goes for an important presentation. You'll check your animations, you'll check the spelling, you'll check the looks, you maybe check that there is no inconsistency, or ideally whether it's brand compliant. This can be really cumbersome if you take that serious, but the more important it gets, the more time you spend on finalizing it. And what I will do now, I will show you Empower live in action for all these 4 steps and show you how it really supports you in the entire process of the presentation creation. So let me jump into PowerPoint here. So Empower, as said, is an extension, so it neatly integrates into your Office 365. It has a ribbon here. And so let's search for existing content. So I remember there was a slide that I'm looking for, and let me try and find it. And of course, I click here on the library, and this is my entry point now. I'll show you how that works. It's pretty nice. So the Empower Slide Library offers you a place where you can save all your central slides that get updated and automatically pushes updates that you always work on the latest version. But it does something more magical as well. Besides being a slide library, Empower also is able to search on all your Teams channels, on all your SharePoint sites, company-wide. Okay, and that allows you to, and I mean, Teams and SharePoint have a search capability, no point, but it doesn't really help you find a specific slide. It's a text search on entire presentations. But if you're looking visually for that one slide, it's really still very cumbersome because you have to open these presentations. It's slow. And what you really are looking for is something. Think about Google search for images, right? You go on Google, you search for an image, you search it, boom, it's there. And that's how you want to search for slides across the entire company, right? And this is really what Empower does. So in my case, we're of course using a full text search, but much more fancy logic here. I can say there was something like why Empower on that slide that I have in my mind. Now Empower searching the entire company, all SharePoints we have, all Teams channels, the slide library. And what I get are all the slides where why Empower is on. And you see, I get the visual result. It's visual like thumbnails of the specific slide. And that's exactly, I'm remembering, and that was actually the slide I was looking for. That was in my mind. And now I found it very easily. And now I can maybe say, show me the whole presentation. I want to see the context. It jumps into that presentation. Let's assume I like the whole set and I want to start from there. So I take that presentation. And I could only find it that fast because Empower was looking through all the places in my company and already showing me visually the slides, not only like the file names. So now I have my presentation here. Let me go to this view. So you don't know, but I can tell you we have a new design by now. So I'm now in the second step of the process. I want to clean it up. I want to bring it to the latest template because we have a new company name. We have a 16:9 format, not 4:3. So many things changed. This is now a super cumbersome process if I do that manually, right? With Empower, I just go here and say, I want to convert that entire presentation to our latest template. Now Empower is doing a lot of magic. It's applying the new template. It is actually bringing all the content from 4:3 to 16:9. It will run through all the logic of design check compliance because there are wrong fonts, wrong colors. Everything will be automatically adjusted based on our corporate design rules. Then the footnotes will be fixed. Old masters in your master view will be eliminated, and you will have in a few seconds a perfect conversion to your latest template. And this saves you easily half an hour or 1 hour every time you do this. So you see the result. So it's a new template. It all looks nice. It's all the right fonts. Images have not been squeezed. Everything has been aligned perfectly. And it looks like it was designed for 16 by 9, right? Not by 4 by 3. So it's a perfect result. No rework needed. So that was easy. Saved me an hour. And I'm on brand by now. So, but life gets a bit more complicated because it's not only reusing old slides, as I mentioned, it's now I need to create something. So in my case, let's assume I want to create a new slide, and there are many tools of creating new slides within Power, right? You can build them from scratch, or what I really personally like the most is I want to get inspired. I know what I want to present, but I want to look through cool looking slides and find the one that makes fun, and then I can actually put my content in there. And I'm coming back to our library, because the library is not only your Google for all the presentations company-wide, it is also a place where you have all your inspirational slides, like slide templates. So look here, so all good looking slides for different purposes, all on brand in my corporate design, so I don't have to spend any time compared if you download a pack from the internet. That's nice, but you have to rework them. Here it's all reworked already based on my brand. I can go through, it's thousands of slides, I can search them. And in my case, I want to make a project plan. That's cool. That's missing in my presentation, so I'll insert that slide and I can start from there. And so I'm the third step of my process now. I'm creating new content, right? New slides. And I think the project plan is a beautiful example, because you might think, well, slide templates are cool, but you still have to do a lot of work when you start using them, right? Yes, but not within Power. Because look at the project plan. So the project plan is not done yet. Of course, I need to make adjustments. I need to change here the names. So this would be the first one. So I want to, of course, not have row 1, but this is my activity 1, which needs a long description. And you would say, well, now you are screwed, because now the whole thing doesn't work anymore. Well, within Power it does. It automatically adjusts the Gantt chart accordingly and takes the text into account. You see that. So it rearranged everything and nothing got mismatched here. Or I want to change the date. I need it until August. So let me change the date here. So I can click here and make it work until August. Want to here, maybe end of August. And then it automatically repaints our, so to speak, it adjusts, so it makes those 500 clicks and copy pastes that you would need to do manually. And you see now I'm here until end of August. And I could just grab any one and drag and drop it to change it. So it's super intuitive. It's a lot of fun to use. I don't spend any time formatting, because that's what I'm doing here, is I'm doing content work. I'm working on the content of my project plan, right? But I don't waste any time of moving boxes, lines, and whatsoever. So that just gives you a very brief idea of how Empower helps you really for the entire process. But I'm not done yet, because the last step is the finalizing. And finalizing there are multiple things that you want to consider. And that's why we have a lot of checks included. So one check is the design check. Is it on brand? I can run that check. Should be, because I did the conversion, so I'm expecting it to be on brand. Yes, it is. So because I used this as a template, right? So that was on brand. So that was easy, but I could have automatically fixed it. Let me check for consistency. And consistency issues are, maybe we find some in here, because we are using old content. We don't know where the content comes from, so there might be issues. There we go. Multiple spaces. So here are 2 spaces. Okay, that's cool. Let me fix 2 spaces. Hyphenation means different ways of writing on premise it found in the deck. So I want to say I always want to hyphenated wording. We have a dictionary of corporate wordings that you can enter for your company. You can enter as many corporate wordings, expressions that should be always like this. So we write in Power, not in capital letters, and with the copyright. It found different ways of writing it, so we fix it. Punctuation, I like this one. This is cool. So you have a box, so you end 2 bullets on a period, but this one not. It detects these inconsistencies, and you can now say, I want to end all of them with a period, for example. There we go. It's fixed. And last but not least, I have an open bracket, but I forgot to close it. That's embarrassing. Let's do that. Let's fix it. And we are good to go. So now we're consistent. No inconsistencies, no brand issues. What else could we check if we think carefully? Spell check. Not a bad idea, right? If it's an important presentation. But we don't like the spell check from PowerPoint quite often because copy and paste means that it's not always set to English. So let me first set everything to English United States in my case, for example. Oh, sorry. Now I misclicked. Okay, that was my mistake. I'm sorry. So I chose a different language. So everything should be. So one more time. Present US, and the whole presentation is now set to English. Now I can run a spell check, which makes a lot of sense now, and I can see whether I have any issues. Well, no, lucky me. So no spell check issue here on that whole presentation. All right, last but not least, so I'm on brand, no inconsistencies, no typo, which I really like that there are no typos. So let's remove embarrassing notes and comments. Quite often you forgot to maybe you resolved the comment, but you didn't delete it, and there's a discussion how we should present to the client, right? So now everything is deleted. So now I have a really good feeling of this presentation is good to go. It's all done, and it took me really only a few seconds or 1 minute to go through all these checks, and I'm good to go. All right, so that was just in a nutshell how Empower can help you. I hope you got the idea, and of course there are many more features, but for this session I want to just end with two ways of how you can push your PowerPoint beyond its limits. First, and my favorite option, is our Empower Express offering. It's a really cool offering. It's done with our right-aligned partners from London. If you are between 1 and 50 users, it's an amazing offering. It's unlimited Azure Cloud. It's all the functionality included that you just saw. It's the first 30 days of free trial. You can then stop, or you can start from 10 euros onwards per month. You can cancel anytime, not a yearly contract, anytime. And it's you get training and onboarding and customizing by real people. It's not these, oh, you cannot talk to us. It's like the opposite is true. You really get it customized, and it's all included in this 10 euros or in the 30 euro subscription, whatever you take. There's no setup fees. So that's Express. I highly recommend this option. But if you're like, no, don't want to spend any money at all for that, but I like the idea, so then go for a free edition. It's really, it's of course limited scope. There's no customization to your brand, and there's no cloud included, but you can still do those fancy Gantt charts and stuff. It's free forever, and you find the link here. So no matter how you want to start it, and if you want to go big, obviously that's easy to contact us, and we are, of course, many of our clients are corporates that have thousands or tens of thousands of licenses, but then of course get in touch with us, and we are happy to help you and work with you through that process. All right, I hope that was helpful. Check these tools out and have a wonderful rest of your conference day today. Bye bye, take care.